Good morning, children. Now I am going to continue the SSLC SST Social Science first chapter of history. The first part I am going to take today is the Battle of Plassey. The Battle of Plassey was in the year 1757. So Alivardi Khan was the Nawab of Bengal in the year earlier, and he died in the year 1756. So Alivardi Khan was the Nawab of Bengal earlier and he died in 1756. Later on, in his place, his grandson Sirajud-Dowla became the Nawab of Bengal. So after Alivardi Khan died in 1756, his grandson Sirajud-Dowla became the Nawab of Bengal in 1750. After his death, the Battle of Plassey took place between the young Sirajud-Dowla and the British. So, the young Sirajud-Dowla was the Nawab of Bengal and the British. It was in the year 1757. So, the Battle of Plassey took place between the young Sirajud-Dowla, the Nawab of Bengal and the British in 1757. Later on, what is the reason for this battle? Why the Battle of Plassey had to take place? The first point is the misuse of dastak. What do you mean by misuse of dastak? Earlier I told you, what do you mean by dastak? Dastak means the license which was given to the Britishers. Okay? So here misuse means they started overusing it. So Sirajud-Dowla, the Nawab of Bengal, he was furious that the dastak was misused by the officials of the company because they were misusing the individual person, the individual officer was misusing for their own need and greed. So because of that, the treasury of the government treasury was getting declined because of the misuse of dastak. The government treasury, the government means the Bengal government treasury was getting declined because of the misuse of dastak by the officials of the company. So this was the first point, the misuse of dastak. And the second one was mending of the fort without permission. Yes, the Britishers, the British repaired the fort of Calcutta. So they repaired the fort of Calcutta without the permission of the king or the Nawab of Bengal. And what did they do? In that fort of Calcutta, they kept their cannons, okay, without the permission of Sirajud-Dowla. So this angered Sirajud-Dowla, the Nawab of Bengal, and he told the Britishers to remove or to take away the cannons which was kept in the fort. But the Britishers did not agree. They did not agree and they did not remove the cannons. So Sirajud-Dowla again he became more angrier with the Britishers, and so this is the second reason, that is the mending of the fort without the permission. Means they mended the fort, the Britishers, for their need, for their use, and they kept the cannons in the fort without any prior permission to the Nawab. So this angered the Sirajud-Dowla, the Nawab of Bengal, and he told them to remove the cannons from the fort and to give back the fort to the Nawab. But they did not agree. They did not want to remove the cannons and they did not wanted to give back the fort. So the third incident took place. What is that? The Black Room tragedy. Yes, what do you mean by the Black Room tragedy? Sirajud-Dowla conquered the fort. The fort name was the Fort William. So he conquered the fort easily, and what did he do? He imprisoned some of the Britishers. So Sirajud-Dowla himself, he went with his men, and what did he do? He conquered the fort. That fort was Fort William, and he imprisoned some of the Britishers in the fort. What did he do? He imprisoned how many Englishmen? He imprisoned 146 Englishmen out people, the Nawab of Bengal. So he wanted to wage war. So he comes with a large army to Bengal so that he wanted to take the revenge of the Britishers who was killed in Black Moon tragedy, that is 123 Britishers. Later on, what did Robert Clive do? He was a very cunning fellow. First, he wanted to bring the people under his control. He wanted to attract the people. In what way he attract the people? He started first attracting the rich people. The rich people means the locals like the Manikchand, the Omichand and the Jagat Seth. So these were the rich people, the Manikchand, the Omichand and the Jagat Seth. He attracted them. He attracted them and he brought them all towards his side. Means our people were easily being trapped by the Britishers. When Robert Clive, he knew that if he takes if he takes all the people under his side, he can easily win the war. So that was his cunningness. So first he attracted all the local people, that is Omichand, Manikchand and the Jagat Seth, and towards him. And later on, he was successful. He was in the second step. He was also successful in convincing Mir Jafar. Mir Jafar was a military head. Second is he was also able to convince Mir Jafar. He was the military head of Siraj-ud-Dawla. So second, he brought Mir Jafar under his control, giving him the greed that if he stays neutral at the time of battle, now the war is going to take place, battle place is going to take place. So at that time, he is the military head, so he is leading the military. So he told Mir Jafar to stay neutral and not to interfere in any matters. And later on, as a gift, I will make you the Nawab of Bengal. So this was the greed given to the military head of Siraj-ud-Dawla, and he, at the time of war, Mir Jafar stood neutral, and this way the Nawab of Bengal lost the battle. Later on, Robert Clive declared war against Siraj-ud-Dawla. Now he attracted the rich merchants, Robert Clive, and later on, second, he also tries to show the greediness to whom Mir Jafar, convincing him that he is going to give the post of Nawab of Bengal. So saying that he is making him to stay neutral, and because of this, what happens? The English won the war. Everything went according to the plan of whom? According to the plan of Robert Clive. Siraj-ud-Dawla, who was tired to escape, he wanted to escape from the battlefield. So because he lost the battle, now Siraj-ud-Dawla lost the battle because of this our own people who were not supporting our own Nawab, and they supported Robert Clive. Because of that, Siraj-ud-Dawla, the Nawab of Bengal, lost the battle, and he wanted to escape from the battlefield. But late he was imprisoned and killed by the Britishers. So the next, what happens? Now what is the outcome of the battle? Why the battle took place, you all know, that is because of the three reasons. The next, you know, what are the how did the Robert Clive comes to Bengal and how he tries to bring Indians under his control. And now you come to know what are the outcome of the Battle of Plassey. The outcome is this war brought out the immorality. Okay, so this war tells the immorality of the Indians, lack of unity among the Indians, and the greed of the Indian businessmen. Who are the Indian businessmen? Omichand, Manikchand. So these all were the businessmen, rich businessmen. So there was lack of unity, there was immorality, and also there was the greediness taken place in the Fort William. You know that Sirajuddaula had imprisoned how many members? 146 members. Out of that 123 had died. So they must give. So Mir Jafar had to pay rupees how much? 17 crores and 70 lakhs as a relief to Sirajuddaula's attack on the Fort William. So because Sirajuddaula actually it is fort was of Sirajuddaula. The Britishers had captured it. Now because Sirajuddaula again captured the fort and it came under his control, the Britishers after winning the Battle of Plassey, what did they do? They made Mir Jafar now the Nawab of Bengal. So now they want that relief. What Sirajuddaula had done in that place, they wanted the money. That is how much money? 17 crores, 70 lakh was taken from the Mir Jafar as a what? As a relief to the attack which was made on the Fort William by Sirajuddaula. Next we will come to know in this lesson is after once Mir Jafar became the Nawab of Bengal, they started handling him as a puppet. As they wish, they wanted to, how they say, how the Britishers are saying, the same way the Mir Jafar had to listen. So he always became the victim in the hands of the Britishers. And also at the same time, the treasury also was going bankrupt. Because why? Because of the greedy nature of the officials. I told you some of the officials in the East India Company, they were very greedy. I told you because the license was given, the dastaks were given. So here, because of them, the officials, some of the greedy officials, even the government, the treasury was getting bankrupt. The third point, the British projected, they always had an eye on Mir Jafar, and now what? They doesn't want Mir Jafar in the place. Why? Because they know that if they continue him and again, what did they do? Because they had put a stay saying that because the dastak, the license was misused by the official. So all this he was trying to stop. So what did they do? They said that Mir Jafar is inefficient for the post of Nawab, and later on they removed him from the post of Nawab, and again they placed Mir who? In his place again Mir Qasim was brought to the post. So as I told, Mir Jafar became the continuous victim in the hands of the Britishers. And what happened? Because the treasury was getting bankrupt. Which treasury? The government treasury of Bengal was getting bankrupt because of some of the officials who were greedy. Okay? And because of this, the British projected Mir Jafar, and what they declared? That Mir Jafar is inefficient to become the Nawab of Bengal. They dethroned him, and in his place, whom they brought? They brought his nephew Mir Qasim as the Nawab of Bengal. So Mir Jafar's nephew Mir Qasim was brought as the Nawab of Bengal by the British. So this was the end of the Battle of Plassey. Next we are moving to Battle of Buxar. So it took place in the year 1764. Battle of Buxar, Mir Qasim, you know, in the beginning, now in the Battle of Plassey, you know that Mir Qasim is the Nawab of Bengal. So once the Mir Qasim became the Nawab of Bengal, he was very loyal to the Britishers. He listened to whatever in the beginning, he remained loyal to the Britishers, and as the Britishers said, he went on doing it. So he paid 2 lakhs pound to the company, and also he gave few places just to bring Britishers under his control. So in the beginning what he did according to the Britishers, and later on he gave 2 lakh pounds to the Britishers, and also places to the Britishers. Shortly, he declared himself as an independent king. So first he showed that he is very kind, very loyal. He listened whatever the Britishers will say. And once he came to know that Britishers have left him loose, he started to show his power, and he told that he is the independent king of the Bengal. After verifying the misuse of Dastar, he declared that the business is duty free in Bengal. So once when he said that, he declared that he is the independent king, he first said that there was the Bengal, the trade, whatever had to pass on. So that will be duty free. It was said openly by whom? By Mir Qasim. So they don't have to pay any duty, whichever trade or whatever business has to be done in Bengal. As a result, the Indian competed against the Britishers. So when it became the duty free, so the Indians thought even we'll also start doing business in Bengal, and they competed along with the Britishers in the business matter, and this resulted the trade of Britishers, it suffered a great loss. Means tremendous loss was taken place by the British trade because of the competition between the Indians and the Britishers. This was enough for the British to oppose the Nawab. So now again the Britishers got angry with the Nawab. Who is the Nawab? Mir Qasim. Why they got angry? First, he made himself the independent king. Second, he gave duty free. He gave license to everybody, duty free, to do trade or business in the Bengal. Because of that, what did they do? The Indians also, the Bengal people in India, they also started competing with the Britishers in the business, and the business of whom? The Britishers was facing a heavy loss. It was coming down tremendously. So they were not gaining profit. So this enraged whom? This enraged Robert Clive. And what did the Britishers do? They thought it is to oppose the Nawab. This brought Mir Jafar again, and again what did they do? They dethroned Mir Qasim, and they brought Mir Jafar again, and they dethroned Mir Qasim. So this is the opposite way. Earlier Mir Jafar was taken in Battle of Plassey, and Mir Qasim was made the Nawab of Bengal. Now again what did they do? Now again they dethroned Mir Qasim, and again they brought Mir Jafar only as the Nawab of Bengal. So as a result, what happened? Mir Qasim knew that who is cunning? The Britishers are very cunning. So Mir Qasim knew how the mind of the Britishers are. So he knew the cunningness of the Britishers, and he organized a war against them. Against whom? Against the British. Mir Qasim organized a war against the British. And what is the result of the Battle of Buxar? Now next we are going to the result of Battle of Buxar. Here Shah Alam II accorded the Diwani rights over Bengal to the British. So Shah Alam, he accorded the Diwani rights to the British. Okay. Then Shah Alam gave away all the rights over Bengal to British for an annual fee of as an annual fee of 26 lakh. So Shah Alam gave them the Shah Alam gave them all the rights, all the Diwani rights over the Bengal towards the British. Shah Alam gave as an annual fee. Annual means the yearly fee has the rupees 26 lakhs. Later on, the Nawab of Oudh had to give away a fine of rupees 50 lakh for waging war against the company. So even Nawab of Oudh, he also had to pay the fine of 20 lakh because the war which was waged on the company, as a fine that he has to pay, the Nawab of Oudh, he has to pay 50 lakhs towards the British. So later on, with the death of Mir Jafar, now Mir company paid pension to his son after the death of Mir Jafar. Now Mir Jafar was the Nawab of Bengal. So after his death, the Britishers paid how much? Some pension to the son, and took over the entire administration of Bengal. So after the death of the Nawab, see how the Britishers are. They paid some pension